It seems odd that workplace ethics should have a place in a refresher course in aerospace, but every employer we have ever questioned placed this topic at the very top of the list of importance. The reason's pretty simple. No matter how good an employee is or how much he or she knows, if they don't show up on time for work, it doesn't really matter. So in this complex modern world where there are so many rules for almost everything and a lawyer for every exception, workplace ethics has become an important part of the aerospace technician's job. We don't have time to explore every aspect of ethics in this summary, but there are really good readings in the reference materials to help you get current if it's been a while since you've studied ethics. As this slide indicates, ethics is simply doing the right thing, meeting accepted standards of moral performance. But the catch comes when you ask whose standards we're going to accept and what defines moral performance. For example, is taking supplies like pencils and paper home for your family to use ethical, legal, moral? By the standards of most people in the United States, removing materials from work for personal use at home is unethical, immoral, and illegal. What about holding a second job to make ends meet? Is that ethical? The answer depends on many things, but mostly on company policy. In the aerospace industry, many companies require employees to declare their outside employment so the company can evaluate whether the job detracts in any way from your main work. If you work too many hours at a second job, your usual excellent work practices may suffer. If the company that hires you outside your main job competes somewhere else in the world with your primary employer, you may have stepped into a conflict of interest without even knowing it is happening. Modern workplace practices and global aerospace competition require that you be more sensitive to ethical practices than ever before. You'll want to listen carefully to your supervisor, pay attention to your HR people, and stay current on company policies about the issues that get talked about in the workplace so ethics don't become an issue for you as a professional in the field. Some areas of special sensitivity include use of equipment such as copiers, computers, and telephones at work for personal gain, sexual harassment and socializing on the job, and time and attendance reporting for yourself or others who might ask for your help to cut corners when they get themselves into trouble. This is a difficult area that goes way beyond the scope of this refresher course, but I'll give you a classic example of an ethical dilemma that happens in the aerospace industry workplace. Think about it so you'll know what to do if it happens to you. Imagine you're working on a large spacecraft getting ready for flight, and your buddy is working in the same area when he drops a small bolt down into a flooring area where it can't be retrieved. You know he dropped it, and he knows you saw him do it, but he finishes his work, holsters his tools, and walks away. What do you do? What should you do? There are many answers, but the right one is to call to his attention the importance of correcting that problem. And then if he doesn't report it, you'll have to tell your supervisor or the job monitor so action is set into motion to resolve that problem. Even one small bolt left in a spacecraft can result in a catastrophic failure. Anyone who doesn't understand that level of concern isn't a professional aerospace technician and has no business remaining on the job without serious counseling. Aerospace is a tough business, but it can be done right without hurting anyone, including the person who made a mistake, if the appropriate actions are taken. People in aerospace typically aren't punished for making mistakes. They are disciplined or even terminated for failing to identify problems when they know about them. Like professional athletes who bench themselves when they are not at their best, professionals in aerospace insist on their personal best and expect the same from every member of the team. If you aren't up to the job, step down and tell someone so another person can take your place that day. Whatever you do, avoid causing or allowing a problem you'll regret for the rest of your life.